Welcome back everyone. So today I'm going to showing you how to working with Auth.js in Nextjs application. So as you can see, we are going to use this Auth.js version 5. For now, it's just a beta version, but we are going to use that on this tutorial. And also we are going to use Prisma to connect it with our MySQL database. And yep, hopefully this helpful. And as you can see, this is what we are going to learn. And basically we have the dashboard protected route. When I click that, as you can see, it redirect me to the sign in, right? I can go back here, and I also showing you how to create the custom sign in. When I click this sign in, it redirect me to the sign in page. As you can see, this URL. And then this is the custom sign in page. When I click that, it will open the list of the account Google that I have. And then now I can just log in with my Google account. Let's click continue, and it will redirect me to the dashboard. As you can see, we on the dashboard right now. And we have this sign out button. When I click that, it will sign out me, right? All right, that we are going to learn. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing what we need to do is let's generate Next.js application. So I'm going to say npx create next app, and for the application name, I'm going to say learn Auth.js and hit enter. TypeScript yes, ESLint. I just enter all the question. Doesn't really matter, but as you can see here, I'm using Tailwind. It's okay. All right, so it's done. Let's see into the learn Auth.js and open that inside Visual Studio Code like this. So let's open a terminal. We can say npm run dev. Let's open the page.tsx, this one. And what I'm gonna do is let's just remove everything here. Just put the heading one. Let's say hello world like that. Remove the image and the top. And now we should see, let's open the localhost 3000. Now we should see just simple hello world on the browser. All right, cool. So now what we are gonna do is let's just remove this layer and root media, everything in here. Just leave it this Tailwind based component and utilities. And now we should have this clean hello world right here. Cool. So now let's go back, and the first thing what I'm gonna do is let's create the header, right? Because we are going to put the login button on the header. So here I'm gonna create a components. Inside the components folder, I'm gonna create a file called I'm gonna call that navbar, I think, navbar.tsx, and rfc. Let's do navbar, and just import that on the layout. And we can say navbar. Oh yeah, that's because we need to change this to capital N. Let's try that again. Navbar, and then as you can see, we got this auto import. Great. Now we should see this navbar on the browser. Cool. So let's next, we are going to just create simple, really simple navbar. So let's return here. Let's create a div in here, and I'm going to set the background to, let's say, zing to 50, and also I'm going to say border bottom like that. And I'm going to create another div here to create the flags. So I'm going to render the, let's say, link here. Let's say link come from the next link like so, and it's going to be the home page, which is the link of the home, and the href it should be /, and down here we have the link for the login, right? So for now, just say button, and let's do login like that. Now we should see enough home and login right here. I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see, right? And then the next thing is I'm gonna set the flags here and item to center, not start, but center, and justify to between like that. And also the maximal width, I'm gonna set that to 4XL, and also MX to auto to make it everything on the center. So now as you can see, we have home and login on the right and left side here. So next, let's add the padding here to make it a little bit space. Padding vertically, I'm gonna 4, and as you can see, done. Okay, we're done with the navbar. It's pretty clean navbar. And the next thing what I'm gonna do is let's create another page, and I'm gonna call this a dashboard. dashboard should be the private road, right? So let's do page.tsx, and we can say RFC like that. And I can do dashboard page like that, save. And also I'm gonna create the login, or yeah, to say sign in road here, sign in page. So inside in here, I'm gonna say sign in dot tsx, and I'm gonna say RFC like that. So you can see sign in, just like that. All right, so now let's close everything. And now we're gonna working with the Auth.js here, right? So as you can see, the Auth.js is just a beta version right now, but it's okay. We are going to learn how to use that. All right, so the first thing, of course, we need to install the package and open the terminal, and then paste that right here and npm install Nextjs App beta version. All right, it's done. So let's do npm run dev again. And I'm going to scroll down, and as you can see, basically we can create, we need to create out secret. We can use this npx out secret or just generate it by your own on your system by running this OpenSSL. But first I'm showing you how we can use this npx out. So I'm gonna create another terminal here, and let's paste that right here. Just look at this. It's just immediately done. As you can see, this is automatically create.env.local for us, and inside in here, this automatically generate this out secret with this random value. That's how the npx out secret works basically, right? So this is also works, but as you can see, when I paste that right here, it also generates a random value. Of course, you need to copy this random value, create the environment variable, and just paste to this out secret value here. All right, doesn't really matter basically, as long as your string here is random, it's fine. All right, so let's go back, and then what we need to do next is let's create the Auth.ts file. I'm going to make it bigger so you can see. All right, so where we are going to create this Auth.ts. So basically, I like to create another folder called lib folder. And inside the lib folder, I'm going to create this Auth.ts. So basically, it's better if you just typing everything from scratch, but this is just tutorial. So I just want to copy and paste, right? Basically, we'll export handler, sign in, sign out, and out come from the next out. The handler, we are going to use that on the API route. The sign in, we can use it into the component and server component, and sign out also on the server component, and out, we can use that on the session maybe. Let's see later, right? After we create that, next we need to create the route handler. So as you can see, it should be inside the app/API out and the next out route.ts. So I'm going to copy that, go back to app here and click create file, paste that like so, and hit enter. All right, now we have API folder, out folder, and next out folder, and inside that we have route.ts file. So in here, again, we need to just copy all of this and paste that right here. And the out, it should be inside the /lib/out. Whenever we access this API out/whatever, it should be make a get request or post request. Let me showing you right now. So I'm going to open the localhost 3000 here, right? /API/out. As you can see, /API/out/ I'm going to do sign in. If I hit enter, as you can see, what happened is it will showing something really weird right now. As you can see, it's just card with background white in here. So what happened basically is we not specify any provider that we are going to use on the out, right? So that's why it's just a blank right here. So how that we can create a provider? So it's simple, but before that we need to create the middleware first, right? So let's create the middleware. I'm going to put the middleware into the root. So let's do middleware.ts. And again, we are going to copy and paste all this content, paste that right here. And the out, it should become from the /lib/out. All right. And the next thing is we are going to create the, let's see, providers. And then I'm going to use Google for now. Let's see Google like this. And then as you can see, this is the callback URL that we need to paste into the this one console.developer.google. And the next thing is we are going to, as you can see here, provider, and put the Google inside the provider. So in this out here, we are going to put the Google. So let's do Google like that. It should become from the next out / provider / Google. And when I save that, as you can see here, when I refresh, okay, as you can see, we have to sign in with Google with this icon Google. How about maybe you want to add another provider like GitHub or Instagram and anything? Simple. You can just need to add a comma here and put a GitHub. Save, refresh, we have GitHub, right? And how if I want to add Instagram? Simple. Let's do Instagram, save and reload. We have Instagram. So simple. All right, so how the provider this work? Because now when I click, of course, it's not gonna work because we not put any kind of authorization. This one, out Google ID and out Google secret. So we need to copy this environment, go to environment local and paste that right here. And of course, we need to put this Google ID and Google secret. So basically, I have another video that how we grab the Google ID and Google secret. I'm going to put a link on the description. So just make sure you watch that video, how to get the Google ID and Google secret. All right, so I just copy and paste my Google ID and Google secret right here. So remember in next out, we need to specify the, right here in the Google, we need to specify the client ID and client secret, right? We need to put the process.env, etc. in here, and we can say comma and client secret, all right? But now in the Auth.js version 5, we don't need to do that because this is just work automatically, because in the environment variable, if you put the out_, Authjs is just read that value, and if you put the Google, it's for Google. If you need maybe GitHub, you just need to change this to GitHub and so on. We don't have to put the client ID and client secret in this Google function, basically. If you want to see that, I think it should be inside the maybe API preference. I'm gonna open that for you guys. And then let's see, as you can see here, Science Next Out JSON version 5 can also automatically infer environment variable that are prefixed with out_. So for example, if out_GitHub ID and out_GitHub secret will be used as the client ID and client secret option for the GitHub provider. All right. As you can see here, you can just read all the documentation here if you want, right? I'm going to put a link on the description. So of course, we need to have a database to store the user. So I'm going to use Prisma, by the way. So let's go to out here, and then I'm going to select adapters, and then I'm looking for Prisma here, and how that we can set up that. Simple. We need to just follow along this setup installation. Let's copy all of this, paste that down here. Basically, we install the Prisma client and out Prisma adapter, and we install the Prisma itself. All right. So let's just wait for that. Okay, it's done. After it's done, the first thing what we need to do after install Prisma, always, you need to initialize the Prisma. So we can say Prisma init. Just like that. After you're doing that, now you have Prisma folder and this schema Prisma. And also you have, I'm gonna close this first. You have environment variable, all right? But now we have two environment variable. The first thing is the, let me first remove everything up here. We have environment local and just environment. So I'm gonna use this .env. So I'm gonna copy all of this, cut that out and paste that to .env, just like that. So now I'm going to remove this .env.local, just delete that, and just make sure you add the .env on your git ignore. So here, let's just looking for .env right here. I'm gonna say .env, save, and let's create the as you can see here, Prisma client. All right, we need to put that adapter and Prisma adapter into this app Auth.js basically. All right, so let's open the lib OutDS, and we are going to put the adapter, adapter, and the value in here, it should be come from the Prisma. So I like to just create another file called prisma.ts to initialize Prisma in here. I'm going to open this best practices for initialize Prisma client with Nextjs. So I'm going to use this one, right? Just copy all of that and paste that like this. So this is how we initialize Prisma on Nextjs. It's the better way. As you can see, this is just check if you are not production, the Prisma here, it should be initialized again and again every time you refresh your browser. When you on the production, of course, this is just a new Prisma client. All right, after you're doing that, let's go back. And the next thing what we need to do is let's create the, let's see here, the schema Prisma, right? So let's scroll down. Oh yeah, we don't have this adapter, right? So let's go back, OutDS, and we need to put the adapter here to, let's say, Prisma. Come from the /Prisma, right? Great. So after we're doing that, we need to create the schema. As you can see here, there's a lot of example of schema. It can be Postgres, MySQL, SQLite, MongoDB. Because we are going to use PostgreSQL, so I'm going to copy all of this, go to the schema.prisma, and I'm going to paste that right here and save. All right. So after we're doing that, what we are going to do next is I'm going to say npx prisma, let's say prisma db push. This is should be push the schema into the database, but as you can see, we get some warning here. That is because, let's see on the environment variable, I'm going to just, let's see on the database URL. As you can see here, my database is not Jondo, but let me showing you right here. As you can see, this is my PostgreSQL on my local, and on the server setting, as you can see here, my PostgreSQL user is just Postgres by default. All right, so let's change this Jondo to Postgres like that. If you want to change the password, you can do in here and change the password. My password is just a random password. This is just same like what I have. And then now let's click start. That will start the database PostgreSQL in my local. So now let's do npx prisma db push. It will push the schema into my database. And as you can see, this is done. And now I can say npx prisma studio. And as you can see here, we have 5 table: account, authenticator, session, user, verification token. It should be come from the schema that we already paste right here, right? So let's see what we have. So let's scroll up, and as you can see, we have user, we have account, we have session, verification token, etc. All right, cool. So let's save that and close, and also close this environment variable. And we get this warning here. I'm not sure. Let's just try to reload the window. I'm going to reload that, and hopefully the error is should be gone right now. Oh, sorry, it's my bad. As you can see on the documentation, it should be wrapping that Prisma with Prisma adapter. So sorry about that. So here we need to put the Prisma adapter like that, and paste the Prisma that we already initialized on the Prisma folder here. Right, now it should be clean. Great. So let's do npm run dev right now. Cool. All right, so the next thing I'm showing you is how that we can log in. So let's go back to documentation, and I just like to create a video like this. So I open the documentation and showing you how that I get all the information. Okay, so the next thing is let's go to authentication, and not authentication, but session management. So in here, as you can see here, we can open the sign in and sign out, and this is basically how we can use the sign in. All right, so the first thing is let's create the button sign in component. So let's first go to the component here, and I'm gonna paste this out/sign in button, right? Come from here. So I'm going to copy all of this, and for the out here, it should become from /lib/out. All right, we import the sign in from this out here that we already export, as you can see, and we grab that right here. So let's try to render this sign in button on the navbar. So instead of button, I just want to render this sign in come from the this one, right? Out/sign in button. Okay, so now let's go back, and then is that we have some error in this browser or not? Cool. So now I'm going to click sign in, and then as you can see, it will redirect me to the sign in page. As you can see, this is the sign in page that Auth.js give us. And then I can click sign in with Google, click that. And then now it will show me the list of the Google account that I have. And now I can just click continue to just log in. So now I successfully log in. So let's see on the database. So I can say my bad npx Prisma Studio like that. And it will open the localhost 555 here, and as you can see, we have one user, and this is that user that already logged in. All right, we successfully log in, and we successfully store the information on the database. Cool. So the next thing I'm going to showing you is how that we know user login or not. So let's go back to documentation and see. As you can see here, there's a tab called get session. This is basically how you get the information that user login on your application. As you can see, to use that, it's super simple. We need to just change the component to async await function, and then we just call this out right here and grab the session. So really simple. So let's just copy this, and then let's go to the navbar, paste that right here. Because we're using await, we need to change this function into async. Just make sure this component is server component, and we need to just import the out from the lib. And now we get the session, right? You can just console that if you want to see the value. So here, I just want to add condition. If the session have a value, I just want to render something in here. Else, I'm going to render the sign in. So if user login, there's no reason user see the login on the navbar here, right? As you can see, the navbar is gone because user now is login. So here, I'm going to create another, or maybe just console log the session, right? So you can see console log session, save, and as you can see on the terminal, we have the value here, the name, email, image, etc. Cool. So the next thing is I'm going to create the sign out. So how that we do that? Let's go to documentation, and then let's go to sign in and sign out. And then here, let's scroll down again. Let me see, sign out. All right. First, we need to create the sign out button component. Let's copy the name, go to out and create a file, sign out button.tsx. And I just want to copy all of this. All right. The sign out is should become from the out that we already create on the lib folder. So let's do /lib/out. Just like that. So as you can see, the sign out is running on the server. Cool. So now we can just use this sign out component in our navbar. So let's paste that right here, just like that. And of course, we need to import that sign out. Cool. So let's go back and see we have sign out. If I click that, we sign out. All right. Pretty cool. And the next thing is I'm going to showing you how that we can create a protected route. All right, on the app here, we already have a dashboard and page here, right? Now if I access the dashboard, we can access that. All right, dashboard page. I don't want that. I want if user not login, user cannot access this dashboard page. So let's go back to the dashboard component, and in here, basically I just want to, let's grab the session set equals to wait for the out like this. And of course we need to change this component into async because we await the out right here. And down here we need to just check if there is no user, if there's no session.user in here, I just want to redirect. As you can see, I grabbed that from next navigation. I want to redirect user to / let's say sign in like that. And down here, I just want to render just really simple return in here. As you can see, just return welcome to private dashboard and just stringify the session and showing that on the browser, just like that. All right. So now let's go back and I'm going to access the dashboard. If I click enter, as you can see, it redirects me to the sign in page, but now we don't have sign in page. So it will showing 404 page. So now let's go to sign in. We have sign in right now. It's not worked. That's because I create signin.txx file here. In Next.js, we need to create file called page.tsx. And now as you can see, we have this sign in right here. All right, cool. So let's just try to create the really simple sign in page. All right, in this return, I'm going to remove this return and just render a div here. And I'm going to add some class name, display flags, and item center. I just want to put the button on the center of the browser. And I'm going to say justify to center, and also the margin top, I'm going to set that to 20 like that. And inside in here, I'm going to create button call, let's do sign in with Google, just like that. And let's just styling this button a little bit. I'm going to say class name to, let's say border, and then padding to 4, and also the background, I'm going to say, let's do blue, just random color in here, 300. And the text, I'm going to set that to white. And also I'm going to set that to rounded here. Let's save. Let's take a look what we have. As you can see, we have the sign in with Google button. When I click that, of course, it's not works for now. But there's something that we miss basically. When I click this sign in, it just redirect me to this default sign in from the Auth.js. All right, it's not render the sign in that we create in this page here. So how do we make sure that when I click this sign in, it should be redirect me to this sign in page? So to do that, it's super simple. On the Auth.js, we need to specify the pages. All right, the pages that we need in here is sign in. We need to render the / sign in like that. And I save. And if I refresh here, as you can see, it's rendered the sign in with Google that we already create. Right? Let's go back again. I click this sign in and it render. So now how to run this on the client? Because as you can see, we need to add on-click event in here. When we add the on-click, of course, we need to change this component here into the client component, right? Let's try to see here. We get some error here because we need to specify this should be client. All right. And when it's client, of course, we cannot run the sign in come from the out. So we can use come from the next out/react here. So now when I do sign in, of course, it's not gonna be works because now, as you can see, not works, right? Because Auth.js don't know what you want to sign in provider want, right? Of course, we need to specify this should be Google, like that. And basically, we also can add the callback URL. When user successfully sign in, we need to redirect user to the dashboard, for example. So we can say /, dashboard, like that, right? So now let's try that. I'm going to go back to the home and then I'm going to click sign in. It will redirect me to the sign in page. When I click this sign in with Google, it will open the list of the account that I can log in, right? I can select any account Google I want and it will redirect me to the / dashboard. Let's click continue, and as you can see, now we're on the dashboard and we have all the information right here, right? I also can sign out. And yeah, I think we're done with this simple video, and hopefully this video helpful. If you have some questions, just leave comment on this video. So see you on the next video.